Hello and welcome to What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. This week I'm joined by my friends David, Tahir and Stuart for a one-shot which happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's right, this week we're playing Fantasy Flight Games' Star Wars RPG, a tabletop role-playing game set, as you might have guessed, in the Star Wars universe. This RPG actually consists of 3 standalone games, each one focusing on a particular type of character found in Star Wars. For this one-shot we went for Edge of the Empire, where everyone is all kinds of shady smugglers and bounty hunters, making ends meet and generally up to no good in the Outer Rim. The core mechanic of this RPG revolves around what is known as the skill check. Skill checks determine whether certain actions performed by the players succeed or fail, as well as any consequences that may accompany the result. Unlike most traditional tabletop RPGs, this system uses custom dice, which feature unique symbols denoting success or failure instead of numbers. For a skill check, a player will roll a pool of dice for the skill being tested, usually a combination of green ability die and yellow proficiency die, depending on the skill. Along with this, the player will also roll dice corresponding to the difficulty level of the task, usually purple difficulty dice, but maybe the odd red challenge die. Other situational dice may also be added to the roll, such as the blue boost die or the black setback die. Once all the dice have been rolled, the player will then cancel out all the opposed symbols. Positive symbols, like advantage, success and triumph, are cancelled out by negative symbols, threat, failure and despair, respectively. If at least one success symbol remains after the cancelling out, the task succeeds. Any remaining uncancelled threat or advantage influence the overall result with positive or negative side effects. To read an in-depth overview of the basic rules and see what the dice and the various symbols look like, I highly recommend checking out Under a Black Sun, a free Edge of the Empire quick start guide created by Fantasy Flight Games, available to download from their website. I'll include links to it and Fantasy Flight Games' Edge of the Empire resource page on the What Am I Rolling website and in this episode's show notes. As David, Tahir and Stuart were completely new to role-playing, we decided to go with the Learn As You Go adventure Escape from Mos Shuuta, and we decided to use some of the pre-generated characters which came with it. Quick heads up here, these episodes would most definitely have spoilers for the starter adventure, so if you plan on playing it, please pause the episode just now and come back when you're ready. The adventure introduces Mos Shuuta, a smallish town in the desert world of Tatooine, situated on the top of a tall rocky bluff with nothing but endless desert around it in every direction. As our story begins, our players are trying to escape the servants of our local crime lord and de facto ruler of Mos Shuuta, Timo the Hutt. David played Skara, a Twi'lek bounty hunter who had previously worked for Timo for betraying him and being forced to flee his wrath. Tahir played Lorik, a Wookiee gun for hire who was, until recently, Timo's bodyguard and fighter in the gladiatorial ring. On hearing Skara's plan to escape, Lorik offered to help, but only if she took him with her. And finally, Stuart played Pash, a human smuggler pilot who had been flying precious cargo for the Hutts to and from Mos Shuuta. After damaging his cargo ship beyond repair on his most recent mission, and knowing full well that this would anger Timo, Pash decided it was probably time to leave his service, and teamed up with Skara and Lorik. The only way to escape is to get off the planet, and to do so they're going to have to steal a ship and fly to safety. Simple, right? A couple of final comments before we begin. Naturally, there are times in this one-shot where the players and myself as the GM get the rules wrong, or roll the wrong dice, or forget something plot-wise, or even pronounce something important wrong. Whilst we always endeavour to stick to the rules wherever possible, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. We're only human after all, and what matters most is that everybody enjoys themselves. Also, we did encounter a number of technical difficulties for this recording. Due to this one-shot being organised right at the last minute, and none of us own suitable living room areas, we ended up in a very busy and turns out very public gaming venue. As you'll hear, there's a lot of background noise, which does distract from the game a bit. We also had another technical setback in which my audio recorder decided to run out of power just as we started recording, losing the initial setup scene description. It really sucks, but I'll read it out again here so you don't miss out. As a result of all these issues, we've had to record the rest of the session on my phone, and we've ended up with an audio which is definitely not as good as it could have been. I've tried to clean it up the best I can, so hopefully it's still worth listening to. Ultimately, we've all learnt a lesson here. 1, be in a quiet room to record which doesn't have people playing Warhammer games or have background music. And 2, always bring spare batteries of a decent brand. With all that out of the way, let's escape from Mos Shuuta. It is a period of unrest and opportunity in the galaxy. The Galactic Empire struggles to maintain control in the midst of civil war. Meanwhile, scoundrels and smugglers, explorers and expatriates, and fringers of all types scramble for a living on the edges of galactic civilization. It is a hard life, but these renegades have more freedom and opportunity than any citizen of the core worlds. On the desert world of Tatooine, a few such renegades have run afoul of a local crime boss, Timo the Hutt. Trapped in the tiny spaceport of Mos Shuuta, the renegades have no choice but to steal a starship and flee Timo's forces. Fortunately, a suitable starship has recently docked at the landing bay, a freighter called the Crate Fan, captained by a Transocean slaver named Trex. As they flee through the sun-baked streets, the renegades duck into a local cantina to hide from their pursuers. You step down a short flight of stairs into the cantina's shadowy common room, the cool air a blessed relief from the scorching heat of Tatooine. The Deveronian bartender pauses in his chores to stare at you, his devilish features intimidating. On a stage against the far wall, a Twi'lek woman dances to recorded music. Private booths line the walls, and the cantina floor is scattered with tables and chairs. A few patrons turn in their seats to stare at you. The only other exits you see from the room are what looks like to be a storage closet in one corner and a doorway behind the Twi'lek dancer. The arched roof above you is supported by thick, heavy struts. You only have a few moments to find a hiding place before Timo's folks arrive. What do you do?
Do we know anyone here? We might be able to blend in.
You don't know anyone in the bar. You have a quick look around, you see like a couple of the patrons look around, but they just seem sort of surprised that you just sort of entered.
Is it busy?
It's fairly it's busy. It's about midday, so there's a couple of people around. Like I'll just there's like one or two people. It's quite big, the thing. I don't have a Twi'lek person, and I don't have a Deveronian bartender, but never mind. But yeah, so there's a few people around.
Yeah.
You could sit at one of the tables with them. You could try and go backstage. The Twi'lek dancers there. You could pretend to be a bar person.
It's tricky. Like,
do we stick together or should we split up? If we get to a good vantage point of the entrance, and we can kind of keep an eye out.
See, my character profile says that I'm careful not to get too attached to anyone or anything, so I should really be abandoning you guys right now.
Mine says we're good friends.
Wow, maybe consistency, good stuff.
We bonded over our experience with Timo. He oppressed us both greatly, and so we've become good friends over this.
That is a fair point. We are all somewhat gnarled.
Can I ask the bartender how much private booth is?
Yeah, he's just sort of staring in shock at you, and you hear like some scuffling in the street outside. So you literally have moments, guys. You don't have time to debate how much a booth is.
Well then,
I think you should charm the dancer to doing a table dance in front of us in the booth.
that might just draw more attention.
Okay, say we go with this ask the bartender thing. We're going to need him to not rat us out. So who here has the best sort of negotiation skills?
Well, I can just growl at him.
You're probably not much use in this situation.
Yeah, you're not the negotiator.
I'm just a hired gun.
We need to be quick, so we need to make a decision basically now.
Oh, they already burst in like 5 minutes ago.
We're all dead anyway.
Okay, I like your plan. We'll see if we get a private booth. That's clever, that's very
You could just go sit down on one of the booths.
Let's all go sit in a private booth near the back.
Near the back?
Kind of facing away from the stage.
Alright, I would like you all to make cool checks for me. So that's gonna be, if you look on your sheet, those should be cool.
Yeah, cool.
You're sitting down as if nothing is wrong. So you get one purple die. It's slightly difficult because there's people watching you do this.
So I have 3 of these and then
Three of the ability die, yeah, and one purple die. Yep.
Is that cool enough?
You've got five advantage, no success. So we'll see how that goes. Who's next?
So mine is 2 green.
2 green. Yeah. So take 2 green dice and 1 purple. Roll that. Okay. So 2 failure and 1 success. One advantage. So and go on, Pash. What are you doing?
3 for cool. Right. Got 2 advantage, 4 success,
Nice.
and 2 failure.
2 failure, so that's 2 success. Right, that cancels out. Right, so only one of you really succeeded. Hooray!
Good knowing you guys.
But you had 4. So you had 4 advantage, right?
Yeah.
And you had some advantage as well.
Yeah.
So you could use that advantage to get rid of some strain. The strain that you just got.
Okay. So we're just sitting at the booth looking as uncool as possible.
So yeah,
twitching nervously.
So I think Pasha sort of like slides in, and his sort of eyes focus on the Twi'lek. So you guys, I think you're just sort of being a bit jittery with sort of your Twi'lek sort of long braids sort of thing.
You're hard to fit on the chair.
You are the only Wookiee in this bar, so you are fairly obvious. You try and sit down, but you're not really sitting down. You're sort of stood, your head and shoulders above the rest.
Can I take my train off as well?
How much did you get?
Just 2.
Oh, 2, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Moments after you hide yourselves, a small troop of pick-like Gamorreans carrying heavy bone-breaking clubs enter through the door, Timo's enforcers. They blink their beady little eyes in the gloom, peering out, and one of them lets loose a piercing scream. You've been spotted, and things are about to get violent. I need you to write down Player 1, NPCs, and Player 2, Player 3.
Yep.
Those are the slots that you guys will go in. Beginning of the round, one player will go, then the enemies will go, and then someone else, and then someone else. It doesn't have to be the same person every time.
Right.
So you could shoot once, and then at the top of the round, it could be a Pash, or it could be Lowrick. It could, it doesn't have to be the same thing. It's completely up to you. So one of you's the quickest to react. Who's it going to be?
Me. Yeah, I'm the hired gun, so I shoot from the corner, across the hairs of the top of them.
So you.
And the laser beam darts towards them from my gun.
Excellent.
The bowcaster, I'm just saying.
So, blast the pistol there.
Yes.
Got that. So that's going to be 1 proficiency and 2 die. They're about medium range. So I'm going to give you 2 difficulty die, and then just roll that for me and tell me the result. All right. So you've got 2 threats.
Yeah.
1 free advantage, 1 success, and 1 triumph. Excellent. So you do hit them. So what does it say here about it?
So deal 6 damage on a hit, plus 1 per success.
You got 1 success, and then 3 advantage. Is that not? It counts for something, doesn't it? You inflict a critical injury on 3.
A critical injury and 3.
6 plus a triumph, so 7 damage total.
7 damage total.
With the critical injury.
Boom, headshot right there.
I don't know if he's dead, is he?
One of them you just take clean out, like a clear, shot to the head. It squeals in agony, and every time you have a round, you have an action which is shooting or a maneuver. Maneuver means that you can move closer, you can move range band, so you can move to engage, to close, to medium, to long, etc. Aiming, again, is a maneuver, taking cover is a maneuver, sort of thing, but usually a skill check or attack is an action. You get 1.
So after taking the shot from being side of the table, stand up, beat my chest. It's what I would do.
It's what you do. All right.
Did you do anything to their morale?
It doesn't really. So with that, you could then take aim. So then you'd have a bonus die on your next go.
Okay.
Basically.
So I just realised that actually I have the highest agility stat here. I was just chilling back, even though I could have done something.
I think you were just a bit nervous. I think you're pretty pissed off with the Twi'lek dancer.
The scar looks nervous to you.
I mean,
she's a badass.
She is a badass. All right, so then it's going to be one of the Gamorreans to go. They're both going to shoot probably at Lowrick. Oh, they haven't got cudgels. I forgot. So they're going to move so they're close to you, and then they're both going to take a shot at you.
I will soak up all the damage.
Probably will do actually. Oh dear, that's 3 success. Oh, that's 5 success. Okay, so that is.
Oh dear.
So you take 5 damage, but then your soak takes 4.
So it's just 1.
You note 1 wound. Oh, sorry, I used to pencil. So they sort of try and beat you around the head, and you're like.
I'm struggling.
Very meaty.
It's very impressive, I can say that. Who would like to go next? Either Pash or Oscara?
Slightly more agility.
You want to do some cool maneuvers, and
I feel like I should do something awesome, like a flip or a dodge.
You can just shoot them.
They are now fairly close to you. They're engaged.
They're on top of me right now.
So
can you help me? I'm your friend.
I should draw them.
They're engaged.
I should draw them out a bit. They're all clustered close to him. I should draw them out by doing something awesome, like diving across the table and shooting at them.
Perfect. So you say yes. Alright, so what's your shooting thing then?
Shooting thing. I have a blaster carbine here. You deal 9 damage on a hit. 2 yellows and 2 greens.
Excellent.
9 on a hit, 1 per.
You are you're close by, so it's only 1 dice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's all Matrix style and awesome.
4 success. Those kinds of that, and 1 triumph. Excellent. So what does that mean? So you do 9?
9 on a hit plus 1 damage per success.
Bloody hell. Yeah, you just wipe out one of the other Gamorreans, like, you sort of like...
That's why we're a team.
Yep.
Yeah. You just like explode it, like it just gets shredded by the combat. Sat here in the middle of the cantina, just like run for cover. Twi'lek stands like shit, no, and like goes right behind cover. Yeah. The bartender's underneath the bar, all that sort of thing.
And the whole dive thing happened in slow motion.
Yeah, it looks fucking badass, I said. Alright, Pash, what are you doing?
Right, I'm going to move away from them and hide behind the table as well.
Sweet, yep, so you've got,
And then I'm going to shoot at the remaining...
Yep.
That guy?
Yeah, go for it. So what have you got is...
I've got blaster, pistol, so it's 3, and then...
So 3 green die?
3 green, 1 yellow, and...
Yeah, and one purple.
Oh, wait, 2 greens.
2 greens? Alright, so you got 2 greens there.
Yeah, and then a yellow.
Yep, perfect. Cool. And then you got 1 purple anyway, yeah. Perfect. 2 success and 3 advantage. So what's that then in damage?
So I do critical injury, I do 6 damage plus...
Yep.
Plus
success.
2.
Plus 2, okay, so what's that?
So 6 plus...
so
8 plus critical.
Plus critical, excellent. Yeah, you just do away with the final one there. You just sort of... it looks even cooler than like what Scarra does. Scarra's done it. You just sort of walk. You don't really dodge, you just do a very sort of... and gone. Yeah, and the cantina just goes into complete silence. There's like the blaster shots into the walls. The Wookiee's just standing over, still beating its chest. You know, you were ready to hit again with that bonus die. It never happened. The Gamorreans are defeated. The silence is followed is broken by a slow, unamused applause. The bartender approaches and laughs a brittle laugh. I guess you folks need to get off the planet in a hurry. The good news for you is that I happen to know there is a freighter in Landing Bay Orc right now. Bad news is that its captain, Trex, is associate of the Huts, and it won't just let you on. The other bad news is that I know it's still in the landing bay because of the broken hypermatter reactor igniter, and it won't be flying anywhere till it gets a new one. Bet Vaughan over at the junk shop has one. And he says all this exposition to you, and then goes, "Oh, yeah, get out of my cantina now."
Fair enough.
Yeah. So you escape from the cantina, and you go out into the streets.
Why does anyone go to a cantina in Star Wars? It always ends in this kind of shootout.
But they all look the same. They always have the same kind of music and stuff. Alright, so you come out at the cantina, which is here, and so you're next to the Dewback stable. So you said that the freighter is here, the Landing Bay Orc, so that's sort of like the northeast of you. The junk shop is just around the corner from you. You know that there's it's quite busy. Again, there's still markets around. You've got the stables nearby. And you know
also avoiding Timo.
I was going to say Timo's Palace is off to the west side of Mos Shuuta, so you probably want to avoid that. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm just saying, Dewbacks are giant, scary lizard monsters. We could ride them to victory. Look at these things.
They are that. Yeah, that's fair.
Beast riding beast.
Are they fast?
These ones don't look very fast. There's a woman sort of presiding over the table. She doesn't look very patient. She looks very sort of annoyed and a bit sort of like grumpy, basically. You're probably aware that trying to escape this place, you know there's like this electric gate, which has got lots of guards on, probably controlled by Timo's men. So to go out into the desert planet of Tatooine might not be the best course of action.
Oh, I was thinking more ride them through the town. But if they're slow, maybe.
I mean, also, that's a good way to draw attention to yourselves.
Maybe.
We could use them as a diversion.
I like your thinking, Wookiee.
A Wookiee riding one of those? It would have everyone's head turned.
Yeah, no one's going to look the other way then. Assuming he survives, that's a very good plan.
Well, you're the most likely to survive, so, you know.
We could just set him loose. We gotta have something to make them go, you're right, you need a rider, or something.
I think, Pash, you know this because you've flown ships before and fighted before. The hypermatter igniter, you don't need it to get into space, but to get to hyperspace, that's important. So you want to get as far away from the planet as quick as possible. Yeah, it's quite an important part of it.
Can we not just cut through the back here and go to the junk shop?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Also, while in the junk shop, we should see about dressing up as droids to get us the Landing Bay challenge.
I like it. It's a very big Wookiee-shaped droid, unfortunately.
Droids can be any size, I'm sure.
So you're trying to get there unnoticed. There's a couple of people
yeah.
around, sort of thing. So I'd say if you all do a stealth check for me.
I get 4 green die for...
4 green die.
Yeah, I'm very stealthy.
I'm an agile one.
So those cancel out now. So it's just 2 success. Yeah.
Wow.
So 2 success. That's all. Yep, you're fine. All right. Stealth.
I've got 3. Yeah.
3 and 1 purple again because you're just trying to, not draw attention to yourself. You're all very distinguished people. Okay, so you got an advantage. So let's see how that goes. And then Pash, are you
Kind of like stumbling.
Yeah.
Growling around.
So you're all sort of free.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 1 success and 3 advantage. Okay, for Scar and Pash, it's fairly easy because you're sort of normal height, and you're sort of making your way through the society. The Wookiee sort of gets waylaid a little bit. There's lots of little people going around your feet, and you're like,
Yeah.
But you don't manage to draw too much attention to yourself. These guys manage to sort of drag you away, and you make it to the junk shop.
Great, yeah.
Alright,
Last thing I want this.
sorry, I've got my phone running as well, just in case. But how are you guys finding it?
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah,
Great.
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah. I keep forgetting the name of things, but
Junk shop is immediately obvious by the scrapyard adjoining to the porous building. As you step inside, you see a hunched old human male lurking behind a low counter covered with disassembled droid machine parts. The man glances up at you, then turns to a garbage can-shaped R5 unit standing inside. He kicks the droid and shrieks, "You're supposed to tell me when I have customers, you bucket of bolts. Go outside and finish stripping that speeder wreck." The droid trundles off with a surly boo, and the man turns to you and says, "Oh, welcome, customers. As you can see," he points to the racks and shelves and enormous buckets full of scrap metal and parts. "I have anything you could possibly want, but at the right price. What would you guys like to do?"
I feel like I'm probably the best to speak to. But I also
He's directly looking at you.
Yeah,
to be fair.
that's fair enough considering our group. See what you wouldn't be my first port of call. Right, so what's the part we're looking for?
It is called the Hyperspace Matter Igniter.
Right, igniter. Right, so I asked him if he's got the igniter parts.
How do you ask him?
He's kind of a cool swag, kind of, I know what I'm talking about, kind of like knowledgeable.
That's really great. I'm actually more asking you to demonstrate that as a role-playing RPG.
Oh boy. Didn't think I'd have to do this. This is
He's sort of hunched over and he's like looking up at you, and waiting for an answer. Probably spits on the ground a little bit, Scar, do you want to step in at this point and say hi?
We're not coming back to Tatooine, I'm just saying, can we consider robbing him?
No. Well,
You're a smuggler.
I'm ready to rob him.
don't say that he's listening now. So
Okay.
And I whisper in your ear, I'm ready to rob him.
Well, let's signal the suggested robbery with my eyes.
let's ask him how much this is going to cost.
We exchange knowing glances.
Then we can all exchange no glances. Then
So he was mean to that R5 unit. I kind of want to, go after him a bit.
Right. So we're looking for a igniter part. We're wondering if you have it and how much it's going to cost us.
Well, I have one, but it's already promised to Captain Trex, the Crate fan. There's not much I can do for it, only, unless you're going to pay more than him.
Well, we can maybe come to a deal. So what kind of money are we talking?
You going to try and negotiate with him?
We'll negotiate, yeah.
Okay.
We're trading the Wookiee.
Alright, so what's your negotiation?
We're on 3 greens.
3 greens, okay, and against his negotiation, which is 2 purple and 1 challenge die.
Oh, he's very good.
He's very good. He knows his stuff, so yeah, just have a quick roll. Alright, so those accounts.
I'm incredibly worried that we do.
Oh no, 1 success after all that. He sort of looks at you and you sort of negotiate and he goes, Alright, if you pay me 600 credits, I will let you take the part.
How much money do we have?
You should have it.
I have 400, you have 400.
Yeah, there you go.
And how much have you got as bomb? There. You have nothing. Well, you're as loaded as you are.
I have guns.
You have gun. That's money. Right.
I mean, the rubber's a lot better right now, isn't it?
But we don't really want to, because it's going to be hard enough to get to the landing bay anyway. We don't want to cause. He's on his
stuff in a cupboard.
So he's the only person here apart from the droid.
Yes, the shop's full of like old scraps. There's no other customers in just now.
How about say we need to fit into our ship and come with us? Leave the droid in the shop.
I think we should take the droid with us. I want to give the droid a good home. He seems like he's had a bad life.
Right.
Yeah, the droid could help us on our ship.
Yeah.
We can afford the part.
Will you throw in the droid as well?
Yeah,
for an extra 200?
We could see if we get the.
That would be all of our money.
Yeah.
Though Rick's not good with credits. He does the shooty thing. He doesn't do the money bit.
I've got money though. I don't know how.
He doesn't have it, but the book he does.
Did I just give you mine to hold or something?
I mean,
Like a
realistically,
giant purse.
we're not coming back here, realistically. So you could probably just you could just hit him out in one. You could get him to show the part, and then we could just knock him out.
Okay, let's do that.
So what, you asking to see the part first?
We're going to have to see the part, kind of show us what we're...
I'll have my fist ready though.
Alright.
Oh no, that's not a good laugh.
So like you sort of say, we don't know if the part's any good, and he goes, oh, all right, fine, and he shows you, like, he goes behind the counter and he sort of picks it up, and it looks like a big black box, basically,
right,
with a couple of wires out of it. I mean, you understand it completely. Oscara, Lyric, less so. You're just like, something to do with it. Yeah, exactly. So you know that it would come from behind it, and it looks in good condition.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So while he's kind of explaining this to me,
he's going over it.
I've got him kind of,
Looking down at it. Yeah.
looking down at him.
Yeah.
We're sneak up behind him.
Basically, you guys both sneak up, beat the living daylights out of him.
Yeah, absolutely. So which one of you is gonna?
I grabbed him first.
You got the vibro axe.
I don't want to maul him. I just want to punch him. Let's knock him out.
You've got fists.
I've got fists.
You don't knock someone out with an axe. I mean, that knocks them out.
Not with that attitude.
Alright, so you're gonna hit him with your fists.
With my fists.
So you're gonna go behind him, just like clock him one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good.
So that's three green, and 2. So you're going to be engaged with him. So you're gonna make sure like you've got him touched down. Okay.
The aim is to actually knock him out.
I understand what the aim is.
Droid abuser. I'm okay with.
He did abuse the droid.
Okay, so 2 success and 1 advantage. So I would say with that's 4 plus, so 6 total. So so you managed. I guess with that advantage, you're just gonna clean knock him out. So he's talking about it. He's like, yes, there's space back there, and he just crumples to the ground. Absolutely fine, no problem.
Okay, drag him to the side.
I just kick him a little, like that's for the droid.
Yes.
He doesn't hear you; he's unconscious. But you do have the unconscious shopkeeper Vaughn on the floor, and like there's no customers yet, so you might want to hide him, perhaps.
Oh, I have binders actually to bind prisoners' hands. Perfect. I've got 2 of them, so we can bind his hands and legs. He isn't going anywhere.
Should we not keep those in case we need them?
Maybe just one. One will do.
Fine.
Let's bind his legs.
Bind his legs,
He crawls after us. I'm blaming you.
So as you start to do that, the R5 unit comes in. It's like looks really frightened about what
We're taking the R5.
I think this seems like the only logical choice.
Turn it off and take it. Yeah. Does anyone else know technical stuff? I feel like we don't want to panic anymore.
You can see on its like little lapel, it's like R5K3 is what it's called. It's cute.
Yeah, K3.
But like I don't know. There's no inside check. That's the problem. Anyone who wants to do a perception check for me.
Okay, who's got good perception? I've got
It doesn't matter who's good at it. 2 green.
2 dice, 1 green, 1 yellow.
Okay, that's
How about
usually
you?
So yellow dice are usually slightly better than green dice.
Okay.
I've got 2 greens and 1 yellow.
Oh, maybe
yeah.
way more perceptive.
Okay. And you'll take 1 purple die as well. Okay, so you have those cancelled out. So you get 2 advantage, 1 successful. So yeah, so you can see that the droid is agitated, but it's more happy. Like you can tell
We've liberated it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's like it doesn't look like it has bad omens against you or anything like that. It looks happy that you've hurt its master.
Oh, our quest to save the droid is over.
Yeah,
We finish this now.
I think this is our droid now.
Sounds like
It's happy its owner is, on the ground. It's not, doesn't seem to be a threat to us. And
Find the translator for me.
It's quite an old model, so it might draw attention. It's quite slow. It might not be able to get very far. That's the only thing.
Okay, I can carry it. It's fine.
No, not carrying the droid. That's quite obvious.
Just under my arms.
You are strong enough to put it on your back, perhaps, but it might just draw attention.
How heavy is this other part?
The other part, it's fine.
Anyone could carry that.
Yeah,
Say
fine.
that shopkeeper's gonna be really angry with his droid when he wakes up.
Let's just take it. I want to take him with me. I'll carry him.
You'll carry him?
Yeah.
Do we cover him in a tarp?
Yeah, let's cover him in
Do we
a
look
tarp.
for tarps?
There's like bits of scrap and everything. You can put together like a quick blanket.
Yeah, we can.
Which reminds me of my idea about dressing as droids.
Okay.
I'm not saying we have to
Elaborate.
Okay, there's a lot of people out looking out for a Twi'lek, an ex-Imperial guy, and a Wookiee, which is pretty noticeable. Nobody's looking for 2 moderately sized and 1 very large droid.
with a droid attached to its back.
Nobody's looking for that.
Can we strip the dude and steal his clothes?
They probably fit your height and stuff like that, but the Twi'lek less so. They're a bit more stocky, a bit shorter than Twi'lek, and the Wookiee, no chance in hell, unfortunately. I mean, there are there's some sets of common clothes that's long robes with sort of not shawls, but stuff that so you can hide your face perhaps. But again, the Wookiee probably would struggle with that.
So we can pretend to be very large Jawas, is what you're saying.
Or again, you're a bounty hunter, so you could occur to you that you could bring in some prisoners.
They're still looking for me, but that is interesting.
I mean, you know the guards are looking for you, but no one might question your authority if you're just sorry.
Do you have any idea where on this map the guards are?
The guards will be probably all around the ship. But the other thing to remember, you're not the only Twi'lek on this planet.
There was the dancer.
There was the dancer. There's a couple of there's different races and species. So it's
No, the
unusual.
Wookiees.
There wasn't any in the cantina,
Okay.
but there might be a few in the streets. People will be on the lookout for strange activity, but you can, if you hide your armor and obviously don't use your weapons in the street, you should be fine.
Just think
okay.
of a dancer.
Yeah, and I'll just cover the droid in a tarp and we'll
I
be
feel
fine.
it's a bit flip, flip, flip.
Yeah.
Is taking the droid maybe not an excess risk?
It might be useful later.
It might be useful, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What's the plan, guys?
Right.
Okay, so we do something with a disguise. Which disguise do we go with?
Well, I mean, we've got these cloaks, and I feel like they're kind of maybe that's too obvious.
Who would be wearing clothes?
I mean, it's the desert.
Yeah, I
Tatooine,
guess.
so lots of people wearing cloaks, and lots of people are wearing shawls and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's not unusual.
Yeah.
We should stick on the cloaks because
Yeah.
that'll disguise us. And
Perfect.
Wookiee's the challenge. I still say giant droids.
What's Lorik doing, by the way? I guess you're just standing around, maybe playing with the five units, and you're.
I'm just
chilling.
Just chilling. It's just looking around in the shop to see if there's any other junk that looks interesting.
There's maybe a couple more blaster pistols, stuff like that. But you're not a bit of ammo and stuff like that. But you've already got stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got plenty of stuff.
There's a couple of stim packs as well. If you would like them.
Yes.
Okay, 4 stim packs
Right.
and 3 emergency kits that you can see sort of just behind the display. It's when you go to the local off license, they're just behind the counter. So it's just so yeah. So you can write that down. So 4 stim packs and 3 emergency repair kits, which are used for repairing droids.
Should we split these up?
Yeah, you can split them up.
Yeah, split them up.
Yeah,
So you probably don't need the stim packs as much as we do. We're more likely to get.
Yeah, I've got 2 already as well. So
I think everyone
We've all
will
got
have 2.
2, yeah.
So one each and someone gets 2.
Yeah. Who wants the emergency repair kits?
we can take one each.
Yeah? Yep. Just in case you might need it for a droid. So the droid's very happy to go along with you. Again, it's I think it takes a liking to you, Lorik. It's
And we've got a bit of chemistry now.
yeah. You maybe it's a bit rusty, so you might rub off.
I polish its head a bit so it's shiny.
Oh.
Can we check if the droid is actually damaged? That's maybe what.
Yeah. Guess make a mechanics check for me.
Right, mechanic, I'm 2 greens.
2 greens? It doesn't matter if you want to do it.
No, does anyone go better than that?
No, it doesn't matter.
I'm holding it.
Yeah, he's holding it.
Okay.
So that
while I'm holding it, you can give it a bit of an inspection.
Right. So I'll do it here so you can see.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get 1 success and 2 advantage. Yeah, I mean it's just wear and tear. It's not like it's limping back. It's not like I'm not as strong as the others kind of robot. It's it's an older model.
Yeah, right.
But it's still able to carry its own weight. It might not last in a big gun battle, put it that way.
Okay. Right.
I won't be able. It doesn't have any weaponry on it.
Can we attach a blaster pistol to it?
You can, but I need you to make another mechanics check, and then depending on what the roll is made later, it might affect if he decides to shoot on.
Should we maybe?
Yes. Let's arms draw.
Alright, who would like to do the mechanics check? So you're working.
I get 2 green.
You get 2 green, and I'm going to give you 2. It's quite difficult. Like it's an older unit. You're not really a mechanic. You're a bounty hunter.
This is a terrible idea.
Okay, so 1 failure. So you kind of I'd say you wrap it.
Duct tape.
Right, more like it's on top of the head, and it slowly but surely starts to slow down.
Perhaps we remove
down.
Yeah, we just remove that.
Yeah, it was a nice try, Scara.
I would love to just keep trying that too.
I'd say by now, the junkyard person's starting to start. You've been here for about 10 minutes.
Right.
Destroyed, so you might want to.
We did bind him, didn't we?
You did, but he's now groaning slightly on the ground.
Right.
There hasn't been any customers in the junkyard just yet, but you know that.
Okay, we shot him. Let's split.
Especially as you've now taken if someone writes down the hypermatter igniter, you know that someone will come and pick that up soon, whether it be Trex himself or one of his droids. So you're actually taking.
Well, do you want me to take the hypermatter?
Okay.
Because you not be more useful for fighting.
Yes, good point.
I mean, you've got a satchel, so it's not like
okay. So we can just satchel. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not huge, but it's one of those really important little bits that the whole
Like a
well, yeah, it's exactly
Are there
like
any good nooks and crannies we can shove this guy into?
There is like it's similar to Cantina. There's like a broom closet sort of thing. There's
I don't think that really matters though, because he's already behind the counter.
Let's just get out of here.
We have to go, I think, at this point. Because he's going to wake up waiting. If he wakes up in a broom closet, he's just going to get out of the broom closet.
Oh, that's why we locked the broom closet.
He does have a pair of keys
But
on
then
it.
the customers will be even more suspicious.
They'll just think he's bad at service.
If you want to do that,
Let's lock him in.
Okay.
Okay, you do that, no issue. Like he sort of goes.
Yeah,
you might need to use your fist to knock him out. Make sure he's properly knocked out.
Yeah.
Lock the door. If someone wants to write down keys to the broom cupboard of the junkyard, please do.
There's every possibility he's going to die in there, but that's not our
I
problem.
can eat the key.
You can leave the key where?
I can eat the key.
Oh, you can eat the key. Is that something that Lowrit would do?
please don't eat the key.
Probably. I'm a
If
rookie.
you die because you eat the key, I'm going to be so angry.
It comes back to haunt you.
How did he die?
No,
Key in the intestine.
I'm little more than a savage brute. We can give it to the. Okay, let's give it to the
The
droid.
droid sort of opens up a compartment.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
Oh my god.
Don't eat keys.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, so we still haven't figured out how we're disguising this guy. We're standing around in row.
I'm holding the robot. It's fine. Let's go.
Maybe we just pretend we've taken. He's our slave.
Slave, prisoner, 'cause you would look like a bounty
I
hunter.
have some more binders.
But I mean, I would like to have access to my guns. Just
You don't
saying.
just need your fists, man. Like,
Okay, we'll pretend you have binders.
you could use like a bit of rope or like to hide it, perhaps. Or
So we'll just like walk behind you, prodding you with some kind. Does anyone have like a taser type thing?
No.
Your
Oh
friend.
my god.
We gotta sell this.
So the plan is to, I think you'd know by now. So you know where the freighter is. It's, again, landing bay Orok. You know there's this other landing bay, Besh, but you don't really know much about it. You're aware that to get into the bay, you probably need to go visit the spaceport shuttle control, which is to the north of the town, and you'll be able to sort of go in there to disable sort of docking clamps and stuff like that, which will probably have the freighter under control. But you don't have to do that straight away. Again, there's other places in town. It doesn't seem to like you poke your head out of the junkyard shop. Doesn't seem to be any more heightened activity on the streets. There doesn't seem to be more Gamoran guards or anything like that. But yeah.
So do we know? We don't know which bay this ship is at?
You do. It's at Bay Ulrock. So that's on the northeast of town.
You're the spaceport control first, did you say?
Yes. I think again, Pash being the pilot sort of thing, you'd know that that's where the main control is. These are sort of remote landing places where the storehouse, the warehouse mesh, and there's probably a bit more warehouse or where they do it. But all the two separate are on different sides of town. The spaceport control is where you need to go to get permission to set off and land. Come in. It's like airport control.
Well, right. We don't need permission.
It's you again. You're aware that if the freight is already there, locked and waiting to go, it will need permission to leave. And that you've been again on planet where you've had to go and get permission for the dock blacks, and it's like this force field over the top of the thing of each landing bay.
So I reckon we ask the robot to go in and get the permissions to move the ship.
This place heavy. That seems like a thing droid would do, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's something that Lorik would say, but again, Pash, you know that it's more that you look at this R5 unit. It does not look like a sort of droid that will go in and ask permission to do it. If anything, it looks like a junkyard assistant.
Suspicious, you should say that. Let me tell you a story about how we got the droid. I'm going to be the least knowable person, so if they're looking for anybody, they're going to notice you guys straight away. It's very generic. I guess I can get away with just, going in there and asking what I need to do, and as I kind of know what we're speaking about. So then we have to decide, do you guys come with me, or...
we can just head straight to the landing bay.
I've been thinking about that. That could be guarded. What if we need a distraction?
We've got the robot.
I was thinking, maybe one of us wants to hang about the water tower. Because, say there's a whole bunch of guards that we need to distract somewhere.
Yeah.
We blow up the water tower. In the chaos, we make our
I
escape.
do have a vibro axe, so that would be quite good for chopping it down.
The water tower, you can see it from where you're at. It's like the tallest structure in Mos Shuuta, and so it'd probably take a long time to cut down, but you can probably climb to the top of it and see a good view of the entire tower.
Okay, so maybe I could just climb to the top and snipe. But you've got a blaster carbine.
I do, but that's a pistol. It would probably not be that good.
I've got a pistol too.
So you also on your thing, you see here it says range. So that's like the furthest it can go to. So you've got medium range there. So anyone.
Medium range.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're probably not cutting this.
I'd also say that
We could put a dent in the top of it.
So you also got you've got comm links as well, which what makes you be able to talk over long distances. So that if you were splitting up, someone could be at the top of the water tower and be like, "The guard's coming," or "Watch out!"
Okay.
I can just groan if I see.
I was thinking I could stealth around here, check out any guards, and then you could tell us if there are anything coming towards us.
I'll wait. Yeah, I'll be on top of the water
If
tower.
worst comes to worst, you swing that vibro axe as hard as you can. The tower's top.
Do we know anything about the shanty town?
The shanty town, you do. It's like sort of ramshackle tents and huts and hovels that sort of cling to the outcrops of Mos Shuuta. It's very unsafe. I mean, you know that working with Timo and stuff like that. It's like little islands, basically. And there's sort of there's rickety ropes between bits and pieces, but again, it's like if you were going to fight around there, you might have the upper hand, but again, you might not. You know the bridges are quite unsafe, and the people there probably won't help you.
Right. Let's avoid there then.
So what's the plan? So Lorik's going to go to the top of the water tower to be lookouts
With the robot.
with the R5 units.
Prep the landing bay by, knocking out any guards there.
So you're going to go search around the landing bay
Yep.
and Pash.
I'm going to head over to spaceport.
Spaceport to check the locks, and we'll do Pash first.
Right.
The spaceport facility is a low, squat building clinging to the edge of Mos Shuuta. The front entrance stands open, but a pair of spaceport security droids stand at attention. If you're going to get off Tatooine, you need to disable the docking traps holding the crate tray in its landing bay, and you can only do that from inside the spaceport control. You have to either get past those droids somehow or find another way in. So they're sort of here.
These are guards.
Basically. And you're walking. You're not on top of the.
Not quite, but I'm just off. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
you're off this now.
In that case,
Is that all that's in here?
that's hard. Alright. I'm going to walk around the right-hand side
Okay.
and kind of scout out this side entrance, see if there's anything see if there's any guards or see if there's anything obvious.
Let me know if you need any backup.
I will do.
Yeah, so you can sort of see a lone figure on top of the water tower by this point, and you like lowering. And I guess lowering. I think. Do you have any? I don't think you don't have any like binoculars or anything like that. So you're just sort of using your keen eyes, your keen booky eyes to see. Have you left the R5 unit at the bottom of the water, or is it?
No, it's with me. I got so long ago.
It's like again. So you see two figures.
Yes.
So no one stops you as you're walking around. Again, there's a couple of other people there. You do see there is a side entrance. It's locked currently.
Right.
If you are going to unlock it, you'd probably use you can either use a skullduggery or computers. So the skullduggery is like trying, lock picking basically, or computers is like trying to fake an access code. It's like a little.
Quite good at skullduggery.
I'm going to go for a bit of skullduggery. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, that's an average. So you get two,
and then 3 greens.
3 greens. Okay.
I feel like I should be better at skullduggery than that. But...
I mean, you're a dashing pilot, so. And an X.
No.
No, so you get. So nothing happens.
Oh.
So you try. You don't set off any alarms. So you don't open the door.
Right. That's embarrassing. So for literally nothing to happen is quite bad.
How many skullduggery dice did you have?
3.
Oh wait, you're way more skullduggery.
Yeah.
Skullduggery I am. Skullduggery. Yes.
I also can't attempt again because of
And if you do it again, it'd probably be even more difficult.
Yeah, right.
Because again, you've been about maybe 5 minutes there, so you probably attract attention. There are people walking around, but no one's glancing in your direction. You know that you could probably just go try and talk your way past the guards, perhaps.
Yeah.
Or...
Okay, I'll make an attempt to walk through the entrance.
Okay. Yep.
And just walk casually, kind of cool, collected.
All right. So as you go up, security droids come to life and go, hold. What is your purpose here? I love it. You've gone back to role playing again. It's great.
No, the only thought that I had was I'm here to see Jeff, and just that was my excuse, but I don't think it's going to work. My purpose. I'm here to make an inquiry about a spaceship launch happening soon.
Which spaceship would that be?
That would be. Oh God. What's it called again?
No. What is it called? Come on.
That's the worst.
Probably should have noted that down. Oh well.
Did none of us note that down?
Probably the Wookiee tries to tell.
Try and be clever and be like the one that's missing its hypermatter thing.
Christ. Is that important? Yeah, this is a ballsy move.
You could be sort of brash and be like, I don't need to tell you.
Yeah, that doesn't matter to you. That doesn't matter to you.
I need you to make me it's a deceit.
You might want to
get
right.
It's going to be...
Yep. Right, so yellow, 2 greens.
2 greens. The droids are not happy.
Loric, you might want to
that was not a plausible story, so you get setback dice as well.
I'm ready to throw that droid.
Yeah. Don't throw a droid. Rescue it.
It's good knowing you, lads. It's good knowing you.
Okay, so those cancel out there. So you have 1 success, 1 triumph, and 1 threat. Okay, so you succeed overall. So they're like, so the droids turn to each other and like, oh, do not know. You must see Overseer Brian, come this way. And so they sort of march you into the thing. They don't leave you alone, basically. That's the threat.
Fair.
They come with you into the main control room. So you step through the doorway into a large chamber crowded with computer equipment and centered around a large holo display showing the plot of local airspace. Standing in front of the display with her arms folded behind her back is a human woman. She appears to be in charge, and as you watch, she speaks into a headset in a formal commanding tone. Imperial Shutter Lambada 11238. You've cleared for landing. Welcome to Mos Shuuta. Half a dozen technicians of different species work at the consoles, and 2 security droids stand near the doorway. Your attention is pulled to the floor-to-ceiling windows against the far wall, looking out onto the desert of Tatooine, where an Imperial shuttle is coming in for landing. So yeah, you have more droids.
Oh no.
4 droids in total now with you. There's a couple of people working the computers, and this woman here, Overseer Bryn. And the droids sort of go up to her and go, Overseer Bryn, we have a man here says he wants to talk to you about a spaceship. And she sort of goes, oh, stupid droids. She's like, yes, how can I help?
So I'm curious about the protocol for launching a spaceship off of this planet. How would I go about that?
You wish to unlock like some docking clamp. Have you not signed the paperwork and stuff like that? what you've come through to basically airport control.
I apologize. I'm not usually in charge of that. I have somebody who always does that for me.
I see. And do you know which spaceship hangar you're supposed to be coming out of today?
That would be the.
No, you don't turn over the map.
Ooh, but I could comlink him.
You're hearing this as you're making your way to the actual landing bay where you're checking out.
Which is can I look at the map?
No.
Dang it. What was it called? Like Auric? Yes.
Spaceport Auric?
Oh yes, I believe there is a spaceship. There is a freighter there. Yeah, the Crate Fang. Yes. Yes. But you're. So are you from the ship? You don't seem to be. You're not trying to. You don't seem to be the captain.
Oh no.
Where's Captain Trax?
Well, I have a part to replace in that ship to allow it to fly.
I see. So you're a technician.
Of course.
Oh right. Well then, fine. So have you installed the part or?
No, I have the part ready to install.
Oh, but I see. He wants to leave the place straight away. Is that
Yes, he's in a rush.
I suppose. You're being deceitful again, aren't you?
Yes, I did deceitful.
Yeah. So then I need you to deceit check against her discipline. So that's one challenge die, one difficulty die.
Cool.
Ooh, nice. So let's see. So 3 success. So she's like, look, I can't be bothered with Trex. He's been a pain in my ass ever since he got back to Tatooine. Fine. And she goes over and she sort of bleep, like, it's fine. Here's been. All you have to do is just tell the droids you're fine to go in and you should be good to go.
Great. Thank you very much.
Now, please
Pretty much me right now. On top of the water tower.
I'm now away to leave. Thank you very much. I'm gone.
You've got.
I've left.
Yeah. What are you doing, Ascara?
Right, I've been sneaking around and we're thinking out, okay, so first we're going to look at, see if there's anyone who might get in our way and maybe just knock them out a bit. And also maybe we should have a look at this warehouse after we've done that.
So you're going around to landing bay Auric.
Yep, yeah. Landing bay Auric. Let's just see if there's anyone.
Are you stealthing around? Are you skullduggerying around? Or
I feel like I should be stealthy.
Stealthy? I mean, like, you don't have to be. Like, there's still people around and stuff.
You're cloaked at the moment, so I feel like in plain sight you should be fine.
Yeah.
So we'll have a bit of we'll have a cursory look around.
Let's look around. Make a perception check then.
I get 1 yellow and 1 green.
Yep, and 1 difficulty dice as well.
Okay. Twilight senses look towards the
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you get 3 success and 1 threat. So there doesn't seem to be anyone around on the way to the landing bay. Like, it seems like you're not near the shops or anything like that. But yeah, it seems pretty much. As you get closer to the landing bay, so you see 2 security droids standing outside the entrance. They look like they're patrolling, and they look very serious. They don't look like they will let someone pass. As you go towards them, however, you sort of the heat of the sun is getting to you again, even with your sort of. So I'd need to take 1 strain for me. You sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very heavy load.
Yeah.
Okay, about 1 strain.
Yeah.
So 2 security droids. So do they seem like an immediate? They don't seem like an immediate threat. Presumably, they're not going to be until we. So do I risk engaging them, or do I sneak to the warehouse and see what we can get first?
I feel like engaging them would be terrible because as soon as you engage with them, everyone's going to be around.
Yes, we should be engaging to you. This is work
Pasha already
surprisingly
has
well.
access now. He just needs to get back.
Yeah, I'm assuming on your comlink that we're in. Don't engage.
We're going to wander to that warehouse, but out of curiosity, can he see anyone patrolling it from where he is?
Look, make a perception check for me, and that'll be 1 difficulty die on there as well. So yeah, you see the Imperial shuttle coming in to land. It comes to land in the other bay, the Besh bay, and you don't obviously hear what Pash hears, and you see like the streets are a little bit quieter. There doesn't seem to be any more Timo's guards about. However, as you're sort of looking out, you hear, "Hey, what are you doing up there?" And you look down, and there is one like a couple of sort of market people looking up at you with the droid.
Consider smashing the tower.
I don't want to destroy the town.
So we'll come back to you in a second. So you've gone to the warehouse. warehouse, right?
Yes, and he didn't see any stormtroopers or anything like that.
Currently, no stormtroopers.
No, it's quite quiet in the
Shall
streets.
I take a look at what we might get, or should I think of doubling back to bail him out? I feel like you could talk them out of it, though. Yeah, you're on the way, right?
I feel like I can walk over, kind of like try and just calm them down a little bit.
That's my Wookiee.
So you're up probably on. You can hear like some distress over the comm, like, and you hear like low river.
I think I'm gonna head over to the water tower and
Yeah,
kind of try and speak them out of doing anything terrible.
Cool,
Okay.
so I'll head right to the warehouse
Alright,
then.
so you're going over to the warehouse.
Yep.
As you get closer, what it is it's a droid market actually happening at this warehouse, and you see a really grossly fat Twi'lek, and you recognise him because obviously all Twi'leks know each other.
It's very interactive.
It is a Twi'lek called Hotho Alaran. And you know that he's the overseer at this market. He's assisted by a timid protocol droid designated XL77 or XL. You know he's got a reputation for being a greedy sort of trying to make money off any droids and stuff like that. Keen to sell parts and everything like that. But he's not seen you yet. You sort of go up and you can see this happening. There's a bit of a bustle and bits of droid, bits of.
I think the first question is he nice to his droids?
I mean, he's like the XL character is sort of following on behind and making notes. But he's not hit the droid.
Okay, fine. I'm not necessarily going to knock him out yet.
Okay, make another perception check. I think. Yeah.
So it's two of these.
Yeah, actually two. It's quite a busy market. There's two
Okay.
different. Yeah. So you got one triumph and two threats. So what happens is that again, it's quite hot out in the sun. You don't want to duck into the place. That's probably another two strain for you. But you do overhear Hofo talking to XL, saying, "I really hope that Trex comes in." He talks about how he wants to meet him because he's got certain parts and like he wants to sell droids, and he knows that Trex is an off-worlder.
Trex is the chap who owns this spaceship. And this...
Trex is the bounty hunter on the spaceship. Yes.
Right, yeah, because he wants to
Hofo is
the hypermatter thing for his ship, right?
Yeah.
What we have.
Back to the water tower.
Yes.
Yeah.
You start walking up past, and you see the small crowd of people gathering, sort of pointing up top, and you look up, and there's Lowrick, probably with the R5 units.
Yeah,
sort
just
of,
branching it over my head.
what are you gonna do? Okay.
So I go up to them and I say, what are we all looking at? Are we not worried about the Imperials that have landed? And
Look at you and go. There's like a criminal that's out. There's clearly a criminal that's out on the water tower.
I've already started climbing down. And now you can say, what?
I guess. All right. If you're doing that, so you can engage in a conversation. So
I'm going to start kind of
So you just like have not seen the Imperials and you sort of muttering and they're
shooting the shit with them.
Yeah. I would say for that, then make a what have you got? I guess make a charm check perhaps.
Yeah.
I think like it's not really deceit because it's actually come.
Yeah.
It's not coercion. You're like look at the stormtrooper.
Yeah.
So I'd say charm. You're like trying to charm your way through people and you're trying to talk about stuff. I'm going to say it's. I'm going to give you 3 because you just saw this massive Wookiee on the side. They're quite frightened.
I actually can't even debate that. That's pretty.
Branching a droid.
Man, you guys are rolling really well. So you get 1 triumph, 2 success, and
I've done this.
a threat.
I'm halfway down right
You're
now.
halfway down. So what I'll say is, so you managed to distract a majority of people.
Yeah.
Like and they're like, stormtroopers here in Mos Shuuta, but there's sort of you managed to make it down, and you probably don't join the crowd. You probably like with the R5
just wander off.
wander off
towards the bloody
as you
bed.
wander off, you see suddenly the crowds flowing through the streets of settlement part, and you see a chilling sight: 3 soldiers in white armor of the Empire's elite, stormtroopers. As you see them, you realize the lead stormtrooper is pointing at you, and you hear his voice break through the crowd, sounding mechanical through the armored speakers. There they are. Get them.
One of us has to say, I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah, that'll do.
As you turn to escape, you spot a second group of 3 stormtroopers coming down a side street. Things could get tricky. Before we continue any further on, I need you guys to roll this force die for me. And this is where destiny points come into it, so have a roll.
Roll away.
1 dark side point. Oh dear, not
This is
good.
getting bad.
God. 3.
I do have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, dear.
The dark side is not in your favour. Okay, I need you all. You guys weren't expecting a fight. You're not there, unfortunately. So you guys have to roll me.
Will we?
Yes, you are.
Big strong rookie.
You are.
And you got a droid with a gun
so
laid
roll me vigilance checks for me, please. So that's right at the bottom.
Vigilance. Yes.
And it's just straight vigilance checks for me. So there's no there's no purple die for this. It's just like the order of initiative. Okay, you roll that.
I look forward to seeing you throw a droid at a stormtrooper. Using it to plunge the
They're
force
quite
as a weapon.
cool.
See, that might activate the gun.
So basically, it's going to go a player character, NPC, player character, NPC. So I'm going to say probably Lorik, you're the first to react. You see like 3 stormtroopers. Where have they gone?
Are they in quite close range?
The ones coming down the side street are long range from you.
Okay.
And the ones close, the closer are about medium range. So,
Need to get my blaster pistol out then.
yep, so that'll be your maneuver.
Yep.
And what's your action then?
I'm making the first shot. Again, aiming for the heads.
You realise there's 6 of them.
I can get collateral damage. I can only reach the medium range.
Alright, so you can. You got 1 triumph, 2 success. Yeah.
So 6 damage plus 1.
For each success, so that's 8.
8.
Yep. And you got. They take a quick bit of a hit. One of them falls down, but there's still 2 left. They sort of duck into cover. So you're gonna have set die next time to try and shoot them out of cover. Alright, it's then there you go. These are the ones at long range. Use a maneuver to come closer.
Okay.
And as you the ones who shot, they're going to try and shoot at you.
Yeah.
And that is, they're going to use a blaster rifle. And they do not hit. So that's 1 advantage. So they sort of shoot at you, and you sort of like fall down. They go into cover as well. So they will get
They're
you.
stormtroopers. Accurate shooting isn't their forte.
They're not great, is it? Yeah. All right, Pash, what are you doing? You've seen Lorik shoot at one set, the other group come in to try and shoot at the other.
Well, I'm going to have to draw my weapon.
Yep.
Shoot at the same set that
He shot at.
he shot at.
Okay, so that's going to be they're at medium range, so 2 difficulty, and they've run into cover. These guys.
Yeah, right.
So what's that back? Oh dear. You have nothing happens. You shoot at them, but again the cover just manages to keep them. Nothing happens, unfortunately.
And I'm just standing in the middle.
You're standing around. Well, you can if you take 2 strain, you can do another maneuver, which means that you could duck into cover yourself, or you could move somewhere. You can't shoot though, basically.
I'm gonna go duck in.
Okay, so add 2 strain to you. You can only ever take at least 2 maneuvers in around.
Yeah.
You can't take like multiple maneuvers.
Yeah.
Okay. It is then going to be the other team's go. So these guys are going to shoot back at you, Pash. You dropped into cover though, so they get a setback die.
I would have just stood and beat my chest.
Okay. That looks like several hits. Yep, 4 success. So they do to you 9 damage. With your soak, though, it takes 4 off. So you get 5 wounds to you. So yeah, they just sort of blast out, and you just get caught in the crossfire.
Right.
So you're not looking so hot, but you're okay. You're still standing. Your armor, your clothes took quite a All right, top of the round. So it's So now it's a player character's go. So you can go Pash or Lorik.
So, seeing Pash get hit enrages me, and I pull out my vibro axe.
Oh yeah.
Finally. Powers again.
Yeah. Okay.
And I walk towards the stormtroopers which have been sheltering, and I raise my axe.
Yeah.
And swipe across all of the boxes which they're hiding behind.
Okay. What I'll say is, you're at medium range now. You can use a maneuver to get from medium to short range. Take some strain to go from short range to engaged, because I'm guessing vibro axe is engaged.
Yes.
So you can do that, and then you can attack.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So take 2 strain for me. All right. Make a vibro axe attack then.
Okay. So
Engage. That's 1.
yeah. And 3 of these.
These, and I think you get a proficiency die as well. And they're in cover technically.
Yeah.
So you get a setback die.
Okay.
Go for it. Let's see.
Okay. 7 plus 2.
So what's the
and
result
this
of the die first? Sorry.
critical injury.
So you've got that cancel. So yeah, you only get 2 advantage on
Okay.
that. So yeah, you don't do any damage to them. What I'd say is that you destroy the cover that they're hiding behind, so they no longer. So you like, yeah, it's sliced through the bottom. It's going to be the NPCs go. So these guys are going to get closer. They're going to get to short range, and they're probably going to shoot at Patch again. Sorry, Power.
A good day, am I?
One success. Yeah. So again, it's another 9 damage.
I bet you soak 4.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well,
You might need one of the stim
I
packs.
may need one of those stim packs.
Okay, Patch, it's now your go. So yeah, for a maneuver, I think you can use a stim pack. So yeah, you can use that.
So yeah, I can use stim pack as a maneuver. So
Yeah.
I can use a stim pack.
Yep. Which does it not say what you can do with the stim pack?
4 wounds. So that takes
4 wounds. Yep. So you just stick it into your arm. It hurts a little bit, but your wounds heal up slightly.
And then I shoot at the same group of them again.
These guys.
Yes.
So the ones that attacked you just now.
Yes.
Sweet. Yep.
So that's 2 greens.
Yep. 3 greens.
2 greens. a
They come out
yellow.
to cover. So yeah. Absolutely
And
fine.
then it's these 2.
Yeah. Success. So success. So yeah, 2 success and 1 advantage.
Okay.
So that's yeah.
6 plus so that's 8 damage.
8 damage. So you managed to destroy yet another 12 just get it out of the way. Still 1 remaining on that set. Yeah, and with that advantage as well, you can take away one of your strain if you like.
Take away what?
One of your strain.
Okay, cool.
Like again, so yeah, you can use advantage to either like aim or duck behind cover, or you can use it to take away strain.
so is Oscara just kind of chilling out, listening to the carnage from afar?
I mean, you're quite close by actually, so you can hear stuff. So what I say actually, if you want to, in like a round's time, you can come and join in.
Okay.
You
I might be
hear
able to
noise.
take them out with my next.
Yeah,
those 3, I'll take them out with my
But
next
what
wipe
would the
of
Scar
5
do? You
rounds.
hear some noise, maybe
There'll
hear
still be 3
people
more.
screaming.
But do we run off?
I don't know. I'm very
engaged
focused
now.
on self-preservation.
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
There's
So
only
you,
one
you,
way
you
out of
wait.
this.
You do what you've been told. You go
Them
check
or
out
us.
the
Them or us.
It seems like I should just stick around. They've got this handled.
We've got this handle.
Alright, thanks.
Right. So,
Yeah, I'll take away my strain from that then.
Strain, perfect. Okay, and then it's going to be stormtroopers. So these guys are going to try and attack Lorik. They're engaged with you, so they can't use their blaster rifle because it's too engaged. So they're going to get out vibro knives instead. Yeah, they don't look as nice.
You're about to regret telling me to just chill.
2 successes, 1 threat. Yeah, you get 4 damage, but actually doesn't do anything. Yeah, you manage to sort of like brush it off. Sort of like it cuts a bit of your fur, perhaps.
Yeah.
The R5 unit takes a lot of beating, though. That's what I say with the threat. Like,
We can repair it after.
It's fine, we've got repair kits.
We've got a repair kit.
Yeah.
And I'm in a droid market.
And now I make a massive swing
Yep.
for these 3 remaining stormtroopers here that are in front of me.
Yep. I guess what you can do is you can take your maneuver because you're already engaged with them to aim.
So I aim to increase my accuracy.
Yep.
And then
Destroy-
swing my vibro
Yeah, you're
axe.
really annoyed with them. Yeah. What's your
I did not want a haircut right then.
Yeah. You're
He's
fine.
still holding the R2 unit.
It's on his back, I'm assuming. So that's success all round. So 3 successes and 2 advantage. 8
8.
total.
No, it's this one, sorry.
Yep.
So it's 9.
9
Nine.
total.
9
Excellent.
total.
9 damage total. Alright, you managed to blast away one of the other, like 2 of them actually. Sorry. It's because I was looking at so there's only 1 left, but cowering slightly because your bigger character like clean the head off of one, the arm off another. It's going to be.
That junk shop owner got off light.
I'm going to say this is the guy. So the final guy of that group you attack is now going to go and is going to attack you again with the vibro knife. Probably realizing it's fruitless because you're standing over him.
With my vibro axe.
Yeah.
I went off either attack, but then
should've thought
knife
about
didn't
this.
really hurt me.
Actually, what he's going to do? Actually, I'm going to use one of the destiny points, and I'm going to upgrade my dice, my green dice to a yellow dice. Okay. I'll roll it again. Ooh, that's going to be successful. Okay. Okay, so basically, you will get 4 damage, but with 2 critical injuries. So what that means, so for this, so he comes slicing up at you, and it digs right in deep. Your soak damage goes down to 2 as a result. So that means you'll take 2 damage, 2 wounds.
So is this permanently?
You have to do something after the encounter. You can't do it with impact.
So I take 2 wounds as well.
Yes, you do.
Will our band of adventurers evade Teemo's forces and make it out Mos Shuuta alive? Or will they cause even more unnecessary chaos and destruction to innocent passers-by? Find out next time on What Am I Rolling? The What Am I Rolling podcast was created, recorded and edited by me, Fiona Howat. This episode's players were David Burns, Tahir Mahmood and Stuart Roy. This episode's RPG one-shot was Escape from Mos Shuuta, a Star Wars Edge of the Empire starter adventure by Fantasy Flight Games. Find out more about Edge of the Empire and other Fantasy Flight games on their website, www.fantasyflightgames.com. The theme music was 8-Bit March by Twin Musicom, twinmusicom.org. Licensed under a Creative Commons 4.0 license. If you want to find out more about the podcast, check out the website www.wairpodcast.com. Fancy getting in touch? Email us at whatamirollingpodcast@gmail.com. Follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at WAIR_podcast for the latest news on upcoming episodes. Remember, adventurers need not apply.